The Sacramento Kings surprised a lot of fans by taking Devin Carter on draft night, adding to what was an already loaded guard room on the roster. They've since traded Davion Mitchell, and by the time you're seeing this they could have done a lot more, but at least we know by now they've cleared a pathway for Carter to play day one. Despite being another 6'3 guard with some questions around his shooting, Carter should be an excellent, well-rounded basketball player that's built for the modern NBA. Though he may not be the wing that Kings fans were hoping for in the draft, he has the versatility to scale up and play multiple positions. In this video, we'll look at everything that Carter should bring to the Kings, as well as how he should fit within the structure of the team and system. Carter is one of the best perimeter defenders that was available in the draft, point blank. He moves incredibly well laterally, has great flexibility and balance, but is also just physically dominant at the point of attack. You'll see him just harassing ball handlers on the perimeter, and is one of the most aggressive on-ball defenders you'll ever find. He really is like glue with how he can stay connected to players. Even screens aren't enough for offensive players to create separation. I love his effort in fighting over screens, and generally he doesn't give the ball handler much leverage downhill at all. This play shows you his overall effort level on defense, getting over and around a couple re-screens here, and bottles up a very good player in Trey Alexander. But the special trait that Carter possesses here in screen defense is actually his recovery. When he does get chipped on these screens and is trailing the play, he's still very much in the picture with that explosiveness and 6'9" wingspan. Even on jump shots where the contest is coming from behind, Carter has such good ball skills in the air that he can still get to these shots. And how about here where he simply just takes the ball away on his contest? That's not the only supernatural skill that Carter has relative to screen defense. He can also use that length and 42-inch vertical to just block shots basically through screens. This should be a wide open 3 for the Oklahoma player off some twirl action, but Carter literally jumps over and through the screener to get a hand on it. This kind of stuff just is not normal. The effort and result of this play against UConn may be one of the most absurd things I've ever watched. Off of zoom action and a DHO for Klingon, there's no reason Devin Carter should ever be able to get to this ball. Most of the issues with Sacramento's selection of Carter stem from the position that he plays, but I believe there's a lot more versatility and scalability here than we realize. Specifically as a team defender, Devin provides a lot of value and even gives you a bit of rim protection. Watch him battle on the interior here against Marquette, and offer help with the basket 3 separate times before finally erasing the last one. But some of these reads from the weak side are just unbelievable. The break that he makes on the ball here is awesome. Watch how high he can get at the apex of his jump. That athleticism combined with the 6'9" wingspan gives him this kind of versatility as a team defender. Another dominant athletic trait that Carter possesses is his quickness, which helps him cover ground especially on closeouts. He can offer further and more exaggerated help because of his ability to recover and close that ground, and his contests as a whole I believe are much more effective because of his length. The question is just how many positions Carter can guard on the ball, and I can see him scaling up to be able to defend about everything 1 through 3. With his core strength and physicality level defensively, there's no reason he can't be this versatile on defense. But off the ball, Devin does everything. He's also a menace in the passing lanes. He's got good instincts and incredible anticipation, usually a step ahead of the offense. And of course, the ground he covers on his breaks are just unbelievable. He's definitely a bit of a gambler though, and of course he doesn't always cash out. Especially on screens, Carter loves to try to shoot these gaps, and oftentimes he's a little bit too ambitious. Coaches typically hate these gambles, but with Carter, I think you really gotta live with them because when he hits, the results are just special. The fact that he gets to this ball is incredible. Choosing to shoot around the screen instead of chase, he has to shift gears to cut the pass off. Then he has the spatial awareness to avoid the sideline and save it. This is not a normal play, and it's something that I keep saying with Devin Carter. He's also a big-time rebounder. Nearly 9 rebounds per game as a 6'3 guard in the Big East is insane behavior. He crashes the boards nearly every play and wants it more than anyone else. The dude really has no fear. He'll catch contested rebounds and even sink down there and box out someone like Donovan Klingon. This effort translates over to the offensive glass as well, and it's important to note that he's doing this while also carrying a very heavy load on both offense and defense. But offensively, I think the skill that immediately translates as his shooting, despite some of the questions that people have in it. I'm personally a huge believer in it. He struggled from deep his first couple years in college before finally shooting 38% his last season at Providence. And that number jumps up to 40% too on catch and shoot threes, which is huge since he should be mainly an off-ball guard with Sacramento. He's someone who can shoot it from just about anywhere. The guy has beyond NBA range and some movement shooting ability too. Providence would occasionally run him off a variety of flares, pin downs, and even elevator action, usually in late game ATOs, and he's just a big shot maker. At Providence, Carter was mainly used as a creator, so he's actually become more accustomed to shooting off the dribble. He creates space with setbacks and spins, and has an incredible pull-up game within limited range. If Carter's shot looks a little funky, that's probably because it is. The set point on the shot is pretty low, and the motion of getting to that set point is not as fast as you would like, though he's made huge improvements in that regard. But even with the low set point, he has a nice and high release with an easily repeatable motion. Devin's percentages from 3 I don't even think are a great indicator of his shooting ability either. His shot diet from 3 last season was bonkers, and he had the green light to pull just about whatever. As a result, there's quite a few wild attempts and heat checks that I doubt are going to stick with him at the next level, so I'm not too real worried about the diet here. But again, he's just a level of shot maker that can really hit anything. Especially in big games or situations, he consistently rises to the moments. The end of this Creighton game was unreal, featuring this shot which naturally hits all net. He should thrive early shooting off DHOs in Sacramento's offense, as teams will likely go under to start his career, similar to how we saw with Keon Ellis last season. I expect Carter to have a seamless transition into playing this brand of high post split offense. With his athleticism and predictably less of an on-ball role in the NBA, Carter should be very effective as a cutter. Carter is a good, strong, and physical driver and shot about 66% at the rim last season. He doesn't have that blow-by speed or quickness on this end, but he uses his body and change of pace well, and he absorbs contact on his finishes. You can see some of his craftiness in the spins and footwork when he plays off 2 feet. He's very patient at just slithering to his spots. His teammate Josh Oduro was incredible at setting these Gortat screens inside, and Carter had great feel about reading these angles and snaking inside the paint. But Carter's creation skills are pretty limited offensively, which is why he really projects to be an off-ball guard for Sacramento. His handle is decent, but not great, and he definitely needs to tighten it up a bit to be able to beat guys off the dribble in the league. He still has a ton of room to grow as a decision maker as well. He'll miss easy reads like these and can be a bit too reckless with his passing. The lack of in-between game really hurts him as a scorer. He doesn't have a reliable floater or mid-range, specifically as a counter to punish drop coverage coming off DHOs or screens. In fact, his main counter to just about any coverage were these Gortat screens from Oduro. Even when Marquette hedges here, he waits for the big to retreat back to his man, then recognizes the inside leverage that Oduro has. It'll be interesting to see if Carter can form a similar connection with the bigs in Sacramento, specifically Sabonis. There's plenty of reasons to be excited for Devin Carter. For me personally, seeing him share the court with Colby Jones in Summer League is going to be awesome. Also, the minutes he sees alongside Keon Ellis in Sacramento should be must watch. 2 long and uber athletic players who wreak havoc defensively. But Carter should be an easy insert into that second unit to play with Monk, who will once again be the lead guard there. Kings fans are going to love him, and I cannot wait to watch him play. So thank you all for watching and supporting the channel, and see you all next time.